Hello, boys and girls. Today I'm going to talk to you about sentence pattern 9. It's going to be a very quick lesson, nothing too major. You'll see why in a second here. I do have one quick side note, though. A lot of people have been questioning. They keep telling me, Mr. Stegeman, I thought you couldn't start a sentence with the word because. And I kind of want to talk about that for a second because it kind of deals with what we're talking about today. So I'm just going to say right now, you can start a sentence with the word because. It is okay. One of the reasons why your teachers were telling you not to do this is because of the following sentence: because I rode my bike home. If you were answering a question and someone says, why are you late? And you just said, because I rode my bike home, you might use that in conversation, but if you were to write that as a sentence, it is a sentence fragment. However, you can still use that in a sentence because you'll be using sentence pattern 8 when you begin with an adverb clause, when you open with an adverb clause, because is a subordinator. In the following sentence, because I rode my bike home, comma, I was late for dinner is a perfectly acceptable sentence. You can also say, I was late for dinner because I rode my bike home. And that kind of leads us to what we're going to talk about today. So I want to talk about sentence pattern 9, obviously close with an adverb clause. But before I do so, I want to talk about sentence pattern 8, and I want to review one of these sentences. And I chose the one that starts with because just because. We have our sentence here: because Renoir painted many oils of clowns, comma, people often recognize his work. And you can see in red we have our subordinator, which, if you remember from our list of subordinators, it basically connects two smaller sentences together. Because Renoir painted many oils, you can see Renoir is the subject of that sentence. What did he do? He painted. What did he paint? Oil. So we have a noun, verb, noun. I've put the nouns in blue and the verbs in green. And then we have of clowns. Next part of the sentence is people often recognize his work. So we have another noun, verb, noun sentence. People recognize his work. Now you can see that is sentence pattern 8 because this first part is the subordinating clause, which is a full sentence. Renoir painted many oils of clowns, but it has this word, the subordinator, at the beginning of it, because, which turns it into, which makes it so it can't stand on its own. It has to have this other part of the sentence for it to make sense. Now, for sentence pattern 9, it's going to look a little bit different, but you'll see there's a lot of similarities between this sentence and last sentence. Sentence pattern 9 is closing with an adverb clause. And so you're taking this very first part of the sentence, because Renoir painted many oils of clowns, and you're simply putting it at the end of the sentence. So you can see we have a new sentence here. People often recognize Renoir's work because he painted many oils of clowns. Now you'll see a couple differences from the sentences. You'll notice, first of all, there is no comma between the two clauses. When you just have the word because, when you have a subordinate in the middle of the sentence, you do not need to put a comma. And so you should, for your sentence pattern 9, there should be no commas in your sentences. You'll see that also I had to change some things around if I was using the same sentence. I had to move Renoir to the very first part of the sentence, because if I were just to say he or his, people wouldn't know who I was talking about. So I had to make sure I was mentioning Renoir. But you'll see the sentences are very similar. I'll read them both. Because Renoir painted many oils of clowns, people often recognize his work. You could also say it in sentence pattern 9. People often recognize Renoir's work because he painted many oils of clowns. I'm going to put this list of subordinators up on the website, just so you can see those. But for today, I really want you to make sure that you are doing two things. First of all, I want you to open up Google Classroom, and I want you to write 5 sentences that close with an adverb clause. That is sentence pattern 9. And I'll put the examples on the website as well, so you can take a look at those. But again, they're going to be very similar to our second sentence here. They're not going to have a comma. They're going to begin with a full sentence, have a subordinator in the center here, and then have another full sentence afterwards, or a clause. So you'll have clause, subordinator, and another clause. After you are done with that, there is also going to be a questionnaire. It's kind of an end-of-the-year questionnaire for this class. Now, I will give you time in class to work on that tomorrow as well, so if you do not finish in class, do not worry about it. Focus mainly on your 5 sentences for your sentence patterns. Again, I will be in class today. I just wanted to film this so I can have some time to talk with some other students. If you have any questions, you can certainly come up and ask me, or raise your hand, and I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. All right, thank you very much.